Good morning from St. Petersburg, Russia. It is not even 7 a.m. here, and I thought just to give you a short update on what's going on in Europe right now in light of the two terrorist attacks that took place yesterday in Spain, one in Barcelona and one a little bit south of Barcelona. The big one, where 13 people got killed and more than 100 people got wounded, is still something that is not over yet, because the person who drove that white van is still on the loose, and the Spanish police is looking after him, a Moroccan descent person affiliated to ISIS. This is a well-planned, not a lone wolf. I mean, this whole baloney thing of lone wolf is, there's no such thing. It was a planned attack. ISIS already took responsibility. In fact, the more ISIS is losing ground in the Middle East, the more they want to show their strength in Europe. In Europe is very easy. It's very, very easy because it's so easy security-wise. Nobody's paying attention. It's infiltrated by so many ISIS operatives over the last 3-4 years, and they assist silently to those who are about to do those things. Now, apart from the attack in Barcelona, south of that, there's another town where 4 armed terrorists not only rammed into people and wounded 7, but they were completely dressed up with explosive belts. The Spanish police reacted fast and very decisively, and killed all 4 of them. Again, one more ISIS attack on a European city within less than 12 hours after the attack in Barcelona. This is something that is a point of concern to the Europeans, because literally every 7 days there's a terror plot, either thwarted or actually happening here on the European continent, and that exposes how vulnerable Europe had become ever since this wave of immigrants, Muslim immigrants, came to that place. Now, just so you understand, I know that the lighting isn't that great, but we'll have to live with that one. This is exactly the type of atmosphere that the Europeans are going to be fed up with when they will eventually have to choose for someone who will lead them into peace and safety and security, not only them but the rest of the world. And so what we're looking at right now is how, on one hand, ISIS is trying to show and prove their relevance to the Muslim world, because they're losing ground. They're losing ground in Syria, they're losing ground in Iraq. And on the other hand, this is also one more thing that causes the Europeans to completely be turned off by all of that. And just as the French so easily voted for someone they don't really know in order just to bring about an end to the tension and some sort of stability to Europe, at least to France, this is just a forerunner of what Europe eventually will have to choose and vote for in order to put an end to the all-European problem. On the other front line, we're speaking about 2 things that happened over the last 72 hours between Iran and Turkey, and Iran and Syria. Well, first of all, we have detected the presence of an Iranian missile factory built in Syria right now. We talked about it before. Israel will have eventually to intervene and do something about it, and that might be, I'm not a prophet, but that might be that which will bring down Damascus. And the other thing is, for the first time in 30 years, the Iranian chief of staff, the chief of the armed forces of Iran, is in an official visit in Turkey. Turkey just purchased from Russia the S-400 air defense system. Turkey is now strengthening its ties with Iran. And make no mistakes, they're not great lovers. They don't like each other. But the common interest for the Turks is, of course, to block the expansion of the Kurds, and for the Iranians is to continue the spread of the Shia. And Syria is the best playground for all of those things. And on the way, if we can destroy Israel, why not? So we're watching all of that, and it's quite interesting, quite alarming, quite predictable and predicted. We knew all about that. The growing relations between Russia, who is now preferred by the Turks because Donald Trump is, for the Turks, he's collaborating with the Kurds, and so he's not on their side. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ezekiel 38 is really happening before our very eyes. Europe is really getting ready to somehow try to put an end to all that chaos that is going on. And by the way, it's not going to be the end. I predict that there will be way more. As ISIS loses more and more ground, they will come to Europe. It's the easiest place, and they will try to perform more and more terror attacks. So, in the meantime, we see an unbelievable rift that is growing bigger and bigger in the United States of America. I think obviously that the media is making it bigger than it is, but the media has a lot of influence. And so when the media makes the small thing looking big, eventually the small thing is becoming big. And the hatred, the violence, it's almost becoming out of control. And we're watching a very sad chapter in America's history right now, which will affect, I believe, America's future. I'm working right now on 2 messages for my upcoming conference in Minnesota. One is, where is America in Bible prophecy? And we're going to talk about where America was, is, and will be when it comes to what God is, was, and will be doing with Israel, because that's what it's all about when it comes to Bible prophecy. And I'm working on another message about Europe and how it is getting closer and closer to voting, choosing, crowning, and electing a European leader to lead them out of the chaos that they're in right now into safety, security, stability. At least that's what they think. I also want to tell you that check on our website, because I'm going to be in Canada. We're going to have a prophecy conference at the very end of October, and there's more to come. On our website you can see many more things. So thank you very much, and good morning Russia, good morning St. Petersburg. It seems to me like they're building a lot of facilities for some sort of the Olympics or, I don't know, sport events. Behind me it's a huge tower that they're building, and next to it a huge stadium. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right over there behind me. And first time for me in Russia. I'm very excited. We're getting off the ship in just about a couple hours. Thank you, and God bless you from